The best advice that I have gotten was from my father, who was a highway state patrolman in North Carolina. He told me to work hard at whatever I did, do the best you could do with what talents you were given, with the education you were given, do the best that you can. Also, he taught me to respect everyone, man, women, children, everyone, and I've tried to do that throughout my ministry. Thank you.
So what is some of the best advice that I've ever received from my dad, Travis Rogers? Number one, never compromise yourself for a guy. Be who you are and be proud to be that person. Number two, never doubt your ability to succeed in the business industry because you're a woman. Number three, always put Christ first in your life. Don't compromise anything if it's going to change your walk with Christ. Number four, behave. Anytime I would go out on a date while living with my parents, that's always what my dad would say. Behave and remember who you are. And number five, I would say don't stress the small stuff. Just trust that the Lord has your back, because He does. So I could continue to go on, but I will not. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I love you so much.
The best advice I ever got was from my dad. And he always told me, when the boss says that work starts at 8, you don't get there at 8, you get there 30 minutes to an hour ahead of time and are ready to work when 8 o'clock comes. And what this meant to me was, in whatever you do, you're first in and you're last out, and you're working as hard as you can. And it's really paid off for me, you know, growing up through sports and up through college and school and into my professional career.
What's the best advice my dad ever gave me? The best advice my dad gave me was that the true measure of a person is the way you treat someone who can do you absolutely no good.
Hey Gainesville First, my name is Alan Fox. I am the son of David Fox. I have his picture here, just in case you forgot what he looks like. A piece of advice my dad always told all of us growing up was treat strangers as neighbors and treat those the way you would want to be treated. It's something that he certainly lived his life by, and something that we've all tried to do in our lives as well. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We love you.
The best advice my father taught me was that if you're going to do something, don't do it halfway. Do it all the way, and do it correctly. Do it right. He taught me a lot about work ethics and being persistent. He also taught me that when you greet people, give them a good firm handshake and look them in the eye. I know I try to teach that to my young campers at baseball camp during the summer. I knew because I was canceling the camp, we couldn't do it this summer, but I'd already I said, we're going to teach these guys to look each other in the eye. And my daddy always said that was as good as gold.
The best advice my daddy has ever given me is not with words, but with how he lives his life. He lives his life with a spirit of gratitude. He is always counting his blessings rather than his crosses. He's always looking at the bright side of things. If I say, this is a beautiful day, he'll say, it is, baby doll, but every day is a beautiful day. And finally, live with love. He lives with love, giving of himself, serving others, always giving a helping hand. He gives of his time, his talents, his treasures to everyone at any time. He gives great big hugs, and he gives love. Happy Father's Day.
The best advice I ever received was from my father, Jim Siphon. He told me and my brother both when we were young. He said, watch me close. He said, you're going to see some things that you like, you should copy them. He said, but I want you to keep watching, because there are going to be some things you see that you don't like, and you need to find a way to improve upon those. He said, if you do that, every generation improves. And the way that's affected me is I liked it so much that not only did it, but I also shared that with my kids. And as they have grown up, they're starting to share it with their kids. God bless everybody.
What was the best advice your dad ever gave to you? The best advice my dad ever gave to me was on my wedding day in his toast. He said, don't wait for a certain point in your life to be happy. Find joy and be grateful each day as you go.
The best advice our dad gives us is when he says that the choice is yours.
This is a good reminder every day when we are faced with hard decisions and we need to do the right thing.
So what is the best advice that my father, Don Carter, ever gave to me? My father grew up very poor in a farming community. A lot of that time was here in the Gainesville area, and he was truly the old proverbial story of walking uphill in the snow to get to school each day, but certainly he embellished it even further in that he also was barefooted and had to chop the wood for the one stove in the one-room schoolhouse so they all wouldn't freeze to death. So with that background in mind, I think the greatest lesson that he taught to me and my siblings was to always treat people the same, no matter who they were, where they came from, their background. And certainly I think that is something that he practiced and tried to instill in us. And right now, I guess with everything that is going on in our nation, what greater lesson is there for all of us to keep in mind is at the end of the day, we're all created in God's image, and we all need to treat each other with mutual respect, mutual understanding, and none of us are any better than the rest, and that was what he taught to me.